Closely associated with healthcare is the Social Security system, and there's always questions about its solvency. Will it last? Do you expect it to be there when you're ready for Social Security and when your sons are ready for Social Security?
Yeah. Well, I think it's my job now to go in and try to make some of those tough decisions to fix it and make sure it is solvent for my kids and hopefully their kids too. But I think the bigger discussion is about fixing the debt in this country, because if we aren't cognizant of that in this bigger discussion, there won't be any Social Security or any of these entitlement programs if we don't get a handle on that too. So I think that's a part of the discussion, trying to look at the debt so that these things are preserved long term.
Ms. Hinson, haven't Republicans lost some of their credibility on debt and deficit issues? You have extra money, Republicans like to cut taxes. Or, most recently, spend money too. What's going to be different about you going to Congress than all the other Republicans who've preceded you, and our national debt is an all-time record?
Yeah, I agree, it's a problem, and it's both sides of the aisle. I think Washington, D.C. has a spending problem, whether you're Republican or Democrat. So what I would just say is that like, my perspective is the kitchen table perspective. My husband sends a picture of the tax check he sends into the state of Iowa every single year. He takes a picture and says, honey, spend it wisely. It's not lost on me, the value of $1 and how important that is to Iowa families. And so when I look at trying to fix those problems and advocate, I was reading the rules for our new conference, and one of the rules is if you're going to make a change, you have to advocate for why you think the country should take on more debt. So
Okay.
you have to be very transparent about it.
Economist magazine says we're going to be in for some huge inflation, because that's how you pay it back. You print more money. But going back to James' question on Social Security,
Yeah.
do you reduce benefits, or do you raise the payroll tax? Set the.
I would prefer we don't raise the payroll tax. I think I just want to make that clear. But I think we need to be looking at age. We need to be looking at the age of workers. We need to be looking, for someone like me, obviously, if I know coming in, I'm 37 years old. If I know coming in I'm going to have to work longer, it's much easier for me to absorb that than to pull the rug out from someone who's 62 years old right now.
So for younger workers, you would entertain raising
I would, yes,
retirement
because I think long term, as we're talking about solutions here, somebody's got to be willing to make a tough call. And that's exactly why the problem hasn't been fixed. And I may be roasted on both sides for saying that I'm willing to be open to it, right? But I am. And I think that's why I won this election, because people are like, okay, she's willing to go and just at least entertain the topics, which I think has been missing from the discussion.
Just a few minutes, okay?